Guys, today we're going back to the 1984-85 NBA season, and we'll be drafting stars in today's league into that era for a season. And so how will players today do in that 1984 season? Will they do good or will they do bad? That's what today's simulation is all about. And so without further ado, go sit down, go relax, go grab your favorite snack. Let me know down below what you're snacking on. Anyways, let's get right into this simulation. So here we go. So we are now on the wheel, and as you see, there were only 23 players we are drafting into that 84 season because there were only 23 teams there at the time. And guys, after the draft is over, we're going to go over the league settings and the history of what actually happened in 1984. But anyways, we begin with Giannis Antetokounmpo, and he will be going to Philadelphia 76ers, and he will join a stacked Philadelphia team that already has Charles Barkley, Julius Erving, Maurice Cheeks. Oh my goodness, that team is unbelievable. But here is LeBron James, and he will be going to the Kansas City Kings. LeBron James will now be in the 1984 season, which I can't wait to see what's going to happen. As Joel Embiid is up next as the wheel spins, and he will be going to the LA Clippers. And guys, after the draft is over, of course, we're going to go over the rosters and everything because I'm sure a lot of you don't know the 1984 roster, so that's what today's video is all about as well. But now we see Kevin Durant go to the Phoenix Suns, and it's going to be so interesting to see how these players like KD and Stephen Curry, who are great offensively, do in this 1984 season, as Stephen Curry will go to the Dallas Mavericks. Like, it's crazy. Some of these old players always talk about these current players couldn't survive in that era. Like Charles Oakley said that Giannis Antetokounmpo would come off the bench in this era, which is absolutely crazy to say, as we see Jokic go to the Seattle Supersonics. But like, the thing is, Charles Oakley actually believes Antetokounmpo would come off the bench. I mean, I think Antetokounmpo would go crazy in that era, like 50 points a game. But anyways, we see Luka Doncic go to the Washington Bullets. They weren't the Wizards at the time. Anyways, as we continue on this draft, we have the Claw up next. Kawhi Leonard will be going to Cleveland Cavaliers. He is back in that Eastern Conference. And now we got Ja Morant up next. How would he do in this 1984 season? And he will be going to the LA Lakers. The Lakers are already stacked in this simulation with Magic Johnson, Bob McAdoo. They went to the finals that year. And here comes James Harden of the 76ers, and he will be going to the Portland Trailblazers. And speaking of James Harden, I had this debate with my friends the other day. Do you guys think James Harden is a top 3 offensive player of all time? I want to see your guys' comments down below. Let me know if you think he's in the top 3 or not in the top 3. However, we just saw Anthony Davis go to that stacked team in Boston as he joins the Celtics, and Jimmy Butler will be going to the Denver Nuggets, and I feel like Jimmy Butler would survive in any era he played in. And now we got Kyrie Irving up next, and I really believe Kyrie Irving is the most skilled player in NBA history, and he'll be going to the Golden State Warriors, his rival, and now he's going to Golden State. And we got Devin Booker up next of the Phoenix Suns currently, and he'll be going to the Atlanta Hawks, joining that team out there in the East. And guys, anyways, here's the GOAT Jason Tatum up next, and which team will he be going to for the 1984 season? It will be the Houston Rockets, and that Rockets team is already pretty nice, so he joins a good team. And now we got Chris Paul. CP3 will be going to the Milwaukee Bucks. I thought he was going to the Pistons. And we're getting closer to the end of the draft here as we got Damian Lillard up next, and Damian Lillard will be going to the Indiana Pacers. He'll be in the Eastern Conference, and can he get his first NBA championship in this simulation? It's going to be fun to see if he could do it. But now we got DeMar DeRozan up next, and DeMar will be going to the New Jersey Nets. And speaking of DeRozan, I had to pull my Instagram at HalftimeYT, link in the description. Who would you rather have on your team, Paul George or DeRozan? And the majority said DeMar DeRozan, but in my opinion, I go Paul George. I want to see your guys' comments down below. But we see Trae Young go to the Utah Jazz, and now we got Zion Williamson up next. And how will he fit into this 1984 season, as he will go to the New York Knicks? Knicks fans, you guys got Zion Williamson. That is something to be happy about. And now we got Karl Towns up next, and he will be going to the San Antonio Spurs. So only 2 teams remain. We got Paul George and Zach LaVine, and Paul George of the LA Clippers currently will be going to the Detroit Pistons, and that Pistons team is looking good with Isaiah Thomas already there. And guys, last but not least, going to the Chicago Bulls will be the current Bulls, Zach LaVine, and I'm not sure why his photo is blurry out of every single one. That is funny. But anyways, guys, that's gonna wrap up the wheel. It's time to head to 2K. Some things you should know before this season simulation. In 1984, again, there were only 23 teams. In the first round of the playoffs was a best of 5, as the rest of the playoffs were best of 7s. And here were the actual standings of that 1984 season, and up on the screen is the actual playoff bracket of the 1984 season. The Lakers beat the Celtics in 6 games, so let's see if history will rewrite itself or change. So we are now on the NBA 2K22, ready to simulate this season, but first we're going to go over the rosters. And again, I found these rosters, the 1984 rosters here on 2K, and we saw Antetokounmpo go to the 76ers with Malone, Barkley, and Julius Erving. Oh my goodness, is that team stacked or what? But this is going to be a really fun, interesting simulation. I can't wait to get this underway, as we see Chris Paul and the Milwaukee Bucks, of course the Chicago Bulls, a young Michael Jordan, and now he has Zach LaVine on his team. And as always, as we go over these rosters, let me know down below below which team you think is going to win today's simulation. Shout out to people in the last 2K simulation up on the screen. I appreciate all your guys' support. I really read every single comment. And look at this Boston Celtics team again. They went to the finals that year. They did lose, but they have Larry Bird now, Anthony Davis, Mikal, Maxwell, Parrish. That team is looking very nice. We also saw Kawhi Leonard on the Cleveland Cavaliers. And this era had some pretty good centers, so it's going to be interesting to see how Joel Embiid will do as he's on the LA Clippers. Hey guys, as we go over the rosters, you're going to see a team like this Grizzlies team who has a bunch of 58 overalls. That just means they weren't part of the NBA in 1984. There are 7 of them, and there's going to be no chance they get to the NBA playoffs with all those 58 overalls. And if they somehow do, I'm going to be shocked. That would be so funny. But anyways, again, look at the Miami Heat. They're one of the teams that wasn't in the NBA in 1984. Like, these teams are probably going to go under 5 wins in the simulation, maybe 10 because they're going to play each other at some point. But then we see John Stockton, Trae Young on the Utah Jazz. I mean, that Utah Jazz team is looking pretty solid for the simulation. Then we see the Kansas City Kings now with LeBron James. That team is going to be fun to watch. And these type of sims are just honestly my favorites. We're going back all the way to the 1984 season, throwback simulations like these, putting NBA stars today like Zion Williamson on the New York Knicks, and to see how they could do in this era. And look at this LA Lakers team, absolutely stacked. John Moran, Magic Johnson, Bob McAdoo, a former MVP, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And so can that LA Lakers team rewrite history and win in today's simulation like they did in real life in 1984? As we see Stephen Curry on this Dallas Mavericks team, and oh my goodness, look at all these 88 overalls. That Mavericks team is looking pretty solid. Then we see the New Jersey Nets with DeMar DeRozan, and that team is looking alright. Can the New Jersey Nets win a simulation? And then we see the Denver Nuggets, Jimmy Butler, and this team is actually looking pretty stacked, I'm not gonna lie. And going back to a point I made early on in this video about NBA players back in the day saying that these current players wouldn't survive in the era, let me know down below. Do you guys think the current players in today's age would survive back in the day? I mean, again, Charles Oakley does not think so. I think Antetokounmpo coming off the bench, that is just an insane statement to say. I don't know about you guys, but Antetokounmpo would be an MVP in the 1984 season, or even when Charles Oakley even played. But yeah, obviously back then it was much more of a physical game, whereas today these players are just so much more skilled than they were back then. And I'm honestly taking any skilled player over any physical player like they were in the 1980s, 1990s. Anyways, back to the rosters. The Seattle Supersonics are back. They were in the 1984 season, and they have Jokic now for the simulation today, as the Minnesota Timberwolves did not have a team back then. Then we see the Blazers with Drexler, James Harden. That team is looking very fun. And as we continue on, the Golden State Warriors with Kyrie Irving. Can the Warriors go to the finals? And the last team is the Washington Wizards, aka the Washington Bullets, with Luka Doncic on the team at a 95 overall. Anyways, that's going to wrap up the roster overview. It is time to simulate to the end of the 1984 season here on 2K, so let's go. And the LA Lakers, Magic Johnson wins the MVP, and the 6th man of the year goes to Charles Barkley of the 76ers. He came off the bench, and look at this, guys. He wins the Defensive Player of the Year. Finally, we win his history. Antetokounmpo does not win the Defensive Player of the Year, as Barkley will get it for the Sixers. And as we go to the first team All-NBA, only one current player is on this, and it is Nikola Jokic of the Seattle Supersonics, as we see Jordan, Bird, Johnson, and Barkley make it. And now we go to the league leaders. Damian Lillard led the league in 1984 over Michael Jordan. He had 29 points per game. Then we see Jordan, Dominique Wilkins, DeRozan. And there is actually a lot of current players here in the league leaders for points. Then we see Clark Kellogg. How about that? Moses Malone and Kyrie Irving finishes at 9. As far as the rebounds per game leaders, these guys went crazy. We see Malone with 16, Williams, Olajuwon, Eaton. I mean, these guys went off. We never see this amount of rebounds per game in the simulation. As we go to assists per game, Magic Johnson with 14. That might be a record in simulation history. And there's the rest of the assists per game leaders for today's simulation. And look at the 76ers back-to-back simulations. They go 72-10. I mean, this is wild. They get the #1 seed in the East. Then we got the Boston Celtics, the New Jersey Nets, the Detroit Pistons make it at 4. And then we got the Washington Bulls, the Chicago Bulls, the Atlanta Hawks, and the New York Knicks slipping in the 8th seed with Zion Williamson. Then we see the Milwaukee Bucks, Pacers, Cavaliers, Hornets. They all miss out. I mean, those rest of the teams, they had nobody because they weren't part of the NBA at the time. And as we go to the West, the LA Lakers 68 wins in the 1 seed, as the Blazers had 65 and they get the 2 seed. Then we see the Utah Jazz, the LA Clippers, the San Antonio Spurs, the Houston Rockets, the Denver Nuggets, and the Seattle Supersonics make it. And so there are the teams that missed the postseason, including LeBron James and his Kansas City Kings. How about that? LeBron James goes to 1984 and he misses out of the playoffs. But here's the official 16-team bracket for today's simulation. And remember, guys, that the first round series is the best of 5. And so it is your last chance to comment down below your predictions. Who is going to win this 1984 season with current stars in it today? Well, sit down, sit back, relax. The road to the finals begins here in the very first round. So let's go. We will begin the first round of the playoffs in Washington, where the Bulls will go down to the Pistons in 3 games. Remember that the first round is the best of 5, so the Pistons get the sweep over the Bullets, 104-86, your final. So on goes Paul George and Isaiah Thomas, but we now go to a game in New York. Here is Moses Malone over Williamson, and he's got to go. And the Sixers go up on top by 1 point. They also lead the series 2-0. Can they close out here on the road? Meanwhile, for the Knicks, they're going to be trying to force a game 4 as these fans are on their feet. It goes to Williamson. Zion behind the back. What a pass to 3. No good. Rebound on Akupo, but oh my goodness, what a pass from Williamson as the Sixers are on top by 1. Can they extend their lead here in New York? It's on Akupo driving. On Akupo throws it down over Williamson. Oh my goodness. Put him on a poster. Are you serious? One of the top plays of the year. Zion Williamson gets posterized by the Greek Freak, and here come the Knicks down by 3, season on the line. And so do you go for the quick 2 or take the 3? As it's stolen by Moses Malone with 15 seconds, he gets the steal, and that's going to be the series. The 70-12 Sixers will take out the Knicks in 3 games. Down goes Zion Williamson as this Sixers team is looking so good, and they get the job done here on the road to win the series. And now we'll be heading to San Antonio. It is the LA Clippers or Joel Embiid who will sweep the Spurs in 3 games. Your final 123-107, and down goes San Antonio here in the very first round as the LA Clippers will be moving on today. But now we go to Seattle, where the 7-seeded Supersonics have a chance to knock out the 2-seed Blazers in 4 games. They're up 2-1 in the series. Can Portland force a winner, go home game 5 as Drexler for the tie? No good. Grabs his offensive rebound and throws it down, and we are tied at 135 with under 30 seconds. And where's Jokic? Why is he on the bench right now? Seattle, what are you doing? They need to take the lead as they go to Chambers on the drive. Nothing. Post spin. Great defense of Portland. Now it's back out to the 3-point line. Shot clock down at 8 seconds. And here is Sobers with 8 seconds of the shot clock. Gets in the paint. Great defense. Oh, there's a man open. They find him as Wood. Bang! Supersonics take the lead. No timeouts for the Blazers. And here comes James Harden with 6 seconds. He gives it up. This for the tie. No good. Rebound. And the 7-seeded Supersonics are going to win this series. Unbelievable. Wood, the 3-pointer. And that's all she wrote. Down goes Clyde Drexler and James Harden in the first round in an upset. I can't believe it. And now we'll continue up this first round in Denver, where the LA Lakers will win the series in 4 games. They will take out the Nuggets, and it's all over for Denver as John Morant, Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar get the job done, and they're looking to go back to the finals as we now go to a game in New Jersey. The free throw is no good from Chicago, and we got a winner go home game 5 at the line. This to take the lead. Can he get it to go? He's got it. 114-113, 33 seconds here in this game 5. Here we go. It's Bergstrong. Under 30 seconds. Can they take the lead? These New Jersey fans are on their feet. Will it go to DeRozan? Or will Bergstrong take it himself? And now he's going to take it around the screen. Goes to the paint, stripped. Ball on the floor, picked up. What a pass! Underneath Kaminsky scores! Are you serious? What a wild play! And what an amazing pass! But now here come the Chicago Bulls, down by 1, no timeouts, 10 seconds. You gotta go to the young Michael Jordan right here. He's only 21, but you gotta trust him. As here they go. 4 seconds. What are they gonna do? They're gonna give it up for the win! It's no good! And that's all she wrote. Down go the Bulls in 5 games. What a wild finish in New Jersey as the Nets take the series. And now we'll be going to Boston. A battle between Larry Bird and Dominique Wilkins goes to distance. It is game 5. Winner go home, and the Celtics will blow them out 143-100. And so down goes Devin Booker, Dominique Wilkins, and Doc Rivers as Larry Bird, AD, and the crew gets it done. And now we go to another game 5 here. This first round is the Houston Rockets versus the Utah Jazz. And look at Trae Young, the ankle breaker, and he puts it in. Utah leads with 41 seconds. They can feel it, and they're going to be looking to move on to play the Supersonics, but they need to stop right here. As here comes Jason Tatum for the Rockets, and he puts it up and in. Houston scores to tie the game, and we're going back and forth in this winner-go-home scenario. But here comes Trae Young playing in the 1980s. Can he get it done? And 30 seconds remain here as the Jazz have 1 timeout. They won't use it. But for the Rockets, they have 0, so they need to stop and to push the ball as it goes to the corner of John Stockton. He's one of the best assist guys ever. crossover as he gets around the screen, goes up, and Olajuwon sends it back. Here come the Rockets on the break. Jason Tatum has it. Oh, what a block from Hakeem Olajuwon. That might save the season. 10 seconds. Tatum against Young. Crossover. Free throw line. Nothing. Tatum again. He's got it. Jason Tatum with 1.7. Timeout Jazz. Season on the line. Down by 2. It's got to be a catch and shoot. Will it go for the win or overtime? Ian looking for somebody. Finds his guy for the win. Back iron, no good, and the Houston Rockets come back in this game, and they will win it to move on. Heartbreak City, Utah, as they will be going home. Well, that first round was fun, but anyways, we enter the conference semifinals for today's simulation. You guys see the 8 teams remaining. We had an upset in the West as Supersonics over the Blazers. Anyways, these series are now best of 7, so sit down, sit back, relax. Let's continue on with this simulation, so here we go. We will begin the second round off with a battle of LA, and it is the Lakers in a sweep over the Clippers, and down goes LA. Their season will come to an end, and this Lakers team is rolling. They're the number 1 seed in the West for a reason, and now they'll be headed to the Western Conference Finals in today's simulation. But we will now go to a game in Detroit. It is the 76ers in a sweep as well. And for the Pistons, they had a great season, but it will come to an end in the second round with Paul George and Isaiah Thomas, as this 76ers team is looking special. They get the job done. And as we go to New Jersey, how about this upset? The Boston Celtics will be going down in 6 games to the Nets. Remember, in real life in 1984, the Celtics made it to the NBA Finals, but now in this simulation, they're going out early. And for the New Jersey Nets now with DeMar DeRozan, they are on the roll. They get the job done over Larry Bird and Anthony Davis in 6. But now we'll go to Houston, where the Seattle Supersonics are going to close out a Game 7. Wait, it's stolen by the Rockets. They're down 4, 6 seconds. What are they doing? They're not going for the 2. They're going to take the 3, but time's going to run out. And a late scare from the Seattle Supersonics, but they will hold up in Game 7. 126 to 122, and down goes the Houston Rockets with Jason Tatum and Hakeem Olajuwon as the Seattle Supersonics as a 7th seed are moving on. We are now down to the Final 4. In the West is LA versus Seattle, and in the East is Philadelphia versus New Jersey. Which 2 teams will be moving to the NBA Finals in today's simulation? Well, it is time to find out right here, right now on NBA 2K, so let's go. We are in Game 6 for the Eastern Conference Finals in New Jersey, where the Nets are up by 1 as the Sixers, they're leading the series. Can they close out as what a crossover by Barkley, and he throws it down. Oh my goodness, what a highlight from Charles Barkley, the 6th man of the year. He crosses over DeRozan, and the Sixers are 40 seconds away from moving to the finals as Bergstrong, a no good shot. Rebound Malone, I mean, that was not a good shot at all. As here come the Sixers, Barkley with another crossover. He's on demon mode right now, but he misses it. Rebound, and here come the Nets with 24 seconds. Can they force a Game 7 season on the line? And I feel like DeMar DeRozan has to take this shot right here, as there's about a 4-second shot differential. Here comes the screen. Bergstrong gets in the paint. Kaminsky blocked. Gets his own rebound. Oh my goodness, they got saved by so many offensive rebounds in this simulation. As here's DeMar DeRozan throws it down with 4 seconds to save the Nets season. Sixers used our timeout. So will there be a Game 7? These fans in New Jersey are on their feet. Inbounds to Barkley. Barkley going right to the basket, and he throws it down. Charles Barkley with 1 second. Unbelievable. Bergstrong at the buzzer. No good. And the Sixers stun the Nets in 6. Oh my goodness, what a wild finish. And just like that, the Sixers are moving on. And now we go to the West. In 6 games, the LA Lakers will score 148 points, and they will win on the road in Seattle. And for the Supersonics, what a great season, but it will end in 6 games. And so on goes LA back to the NBA Finals like they did in real life. We are down to 2 teams, the Philadelphia 76ers and the LA Lakers. Who's going to take the championship in today's simulation? It all comes down to this. Well, let me know down below if anyone predicted these finals, but we're going to simulate this right now here on NBA 2K22. So let's go.
The moment has arrived. Game 7 of the NBA Finals. The Philadelphia 76ers have reached the final destination. An epic journey is nearly complete. The opportunity to win the ultimate prize in a series that will go the distance. They must bring all they can muster against the Lakers. Game 7.
We got a tie game in Philadelphia. Winner go home. Game 7 for the championship as it goes to Malone. Under 45 seconds, blocked by Abdul-Jabbar. And here come the Lakers. Can they win the championship on the road? It goes to Morant. Morant with 37 seconds, the biggest stage of his life. Here comes the screen. Morant takes it back out. 1-on-1 with Julius Erving. Crossover, nothing there. McAdoo the jumper, no good. Rebound, Dr. J. 26 seconds. Here we go. Fans are on their feet. It's the Greek Freak on Akupo. 20 seconds. Here comes the double. On Akupo on the paint. Blocked by Abdul-Jabbar again. This guy can't do no wrong. He's doing it all for the Lakers. And only 11 seconds on the shot clock as the 76ers will use their last timeout. Here we go with this game 7. And with the Lakers at a timeout, Philadelphia can use most of the clock here and go for the win as they inbound the backcourt. It all comes down to this. And here's Cheeks 1-on-1 against Magic Johnson. Gets in the paint. His shot is blocked. Blocked by Magic Johnson. Lakers on the break with 4 seconds. Here they come. Back to Magic. Puts in the layup. Lakers have the lead. Sixers with no timeout. Here is Cheeks. No good, and the Lakers win the simulation in the NBA Finals in 7 games. What an unbelievable finish. I am shocked right now. In this place in Philadelphia, can't believe it as well, as the Lakers have done it just like they did in real life in 1984. And oh my goodness, guys, I don't even know what to say. The Sixers, I thought that team was the best team we've ever seen in simulation history, and they will go down in 7 in a heartbreak. But guys, thank you so much for watching today's simulation. It was absolutely wild. I want to see your reactions in the comments right now. But again, I read every single comment. You guys are seriously all the GOATs. There's your Finals MVP. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed today's simulation, and we out.